You do, man.
Yeah.
We can do this for like what 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, 20, 30 minutes.
Come on, dog.
It's not too late. It's 11:56.
Stop it.
Oh, I got Russ in
If,
here. I got Russ.
all right,
I
man.
got,
So I'm safe if for some reason I have to bail because bar's closing soon. So
all right.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear
loud
you.
and clear,
Can you hear
man.
everybody?
No echo, no nothing.
Nah.
Nope.
Look at that
All
hair,
right.
man. That is
We're
majestic.
live right now.
Trying to compete with Brian over here.
I know. I'm trying. It'll take some time.
Hey, mine is
I
all
got
gray.
I got a
Doesn't count
yes,
anymore.
sir. That
Let's
keel mode.
go.
Turn me up
Hey,
one
we
time.
we called it, man. We called it.
Oh my goodness! I need to talk about this. Oh, while people
Hey,
following.
hey, Zion, we can't let you get away with you saying I was the one that called Trevor Keels and everything.
I did.
We
I
all,
had to.
we
I
we
said at
all
the end.
called it.
Okay, we all called it. Okay,
We
okay,
all
we all
called
called
it
it.
over
We
what
all
he
called it.
said.
Yes. We all called it.
And I think we all said about 8 points too for the game.
I had 15, but you just double that.
I
Yeah.
think I
Shout
said
out to
8 on the podcast the other night.
Shout
I
out to
got a
everyone
lot of
joining.
flack for saying I wanted Keels more
Hey,
than Baldwin.
Ryan, tweet it out from your page,
I got you.
and everybody if you can. But
I
yeah,
just retweeted it.
I'm looking at our comments. Yes, sir. Staying up for this. Shout out to per F still for
Come
still.
on, Duke fans. Y'all ain't
guy.
sleeping. Just get up.
Come on,
Y'all ain't
man. It's a
sleeping.
celebration, man. We just beat Kentucky, man. All right, let me play the intro.
That link works.
man.
I'll just
Let me
retweet
play
whatever
the
you sent.
intro. Yeah, just retweet it.
Nobody outside of Kentucky cares about that rivalry.
Exactly.
Who cares about
Wins 2015 or 2010, and everybody is saying 2015. So
just got back up here at Durham a couple days ago. So been in the gym a little bit. Me and Joey been in the gym working out together.
As Duke fans, as Duke coaches, you know, 'cause I get excited over there, even in my suit, I'm grabbing Coach Tyler's leg, like.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Duke Blue Devils are 1-0. Are
You know how we
1-0 after a 79-71 win over Kentucky. Man, I don't know where we start. But first, actually, I do want to know where we start. Shout out to TickPick. As you see, our new sponsor, TickPick. The show is presented by TickPick. As you see on the bottom ticker, use the promo code Duke Nation on TickPick to get a discount on any Duke tickets. Come on, you got to see this team. We got to see Trevor. We got to see Paolo. Oh my goodness, man! Ryan, start us off.
Oh man.
I mean, if I'm being honest with you, I felt like the game was, when it wasn't out of reach, it was still out of reach. Like it almost felt like Duke was in control for the majority of the second half. Like it was to the point where when they were up, I think it was like 12 or 13. I was like, this is going to be a blowout. And towards the end, when we had cramping and everything going on, it got a little bit interesting. But dude, Trevor Keels, man, come on now. I think he was 10 of 18 shooting and just kind of took over when Wendell and Paulo were out. He was kind of just took over. And then when they brought Paulo back in, it was like, dude, if Paulo and Trevor can play like this alongside each other, and then you add Wendell taking that step that it looked like he did in the first half, dude, what a performance, man. I just super excited. I think it's going to be interesting going forward how Trevor and Paulo played together and whatnot going forward. But for the first game against a really good quality opponent, man, you couldn't be more optimistic for Coach K's last season.
Oh man, number one, first thing we got to address off the bat, because I see it a lot in the comments. I see it on the Twitter comments too. Shout out Mel, I gotta shout you out. You said Oscar was gonna get destroyed tonight. Maybe I did say that, but you know what? I said a lot of right things too. Let's focus on the positive. Let's focus on me saying Trevor Keels. I should have clipped the clip where I said I do not care about Ty Washington. Ty Washington was in hell tonight. Trevor Keels locked that up. I didn't hear from him the whole night. I saw him on the bench moping. So, you know, Jack Pilgrim, I'm sorry, man. Ty Washington is not that guy. You know who is that guy? Trevor Keels. Trevor Keels is that guy. We've been trying to tell you he's not an average player. This kid is a superstar.
we can do a stat read. Ty Washington, real quick. 3 of 14, 0 of 2 from 3 for 9 points, 3 assists and 2 rebounds. I will say I'm not one to defend our UK counterparts, but Severe Wheeler played a decent game. He didn't shoot the ball very well, but ended up with 16 and 10 as far as assists and points go.
He killed it. He killed it.
But dude, we were right, man. Trevor Keels, big body, athletic man. We called it right away. You have to account for him guarding these smaller guards, man, and he's gonna wreak havoc all season long.
Yep. Brian, man, what do you think of this win, man?
I'm still a little jittery. I don't know if y'all get that little heartbeat in your chest when these games are.
You getting cramps?
And they're close. Yeah.
Oh, you getting cramps? Oh, yeah, we do that talk about the cramps.
It's interesting that I thought Wheeler was going to have a much better game. I mean, yeah, he had the 10 assists, but dude had 7 turnovers too. I mean, that's can't have it. Point guard can't have 7 turnovers. I mean, that's part of what killed him, I think. Moore, man, that shot, man, he's come a long way with his jump shot.
It's a different window.
He did,
this year.
a couple of bonehead things, but who doesn't?
Yeah.
He plays at one speed, and that speed is fast. But he had I think his 12 points is going to be underestimated. I think he's going to do some things for this team this year. He's come a long way, and yes, Keels, man, big guard energy. You got to love that. He's gonna manhandle the guards in the ACC.
Oh my goodness, I'm so
you
excited.
Imagine him posting up little Kihei Clark.
Oh my god! And you know what's crazy, Russ? Before we get to you, we did mention. I think Dom was the one who said it, Ryan, on the last stream. He said, "What if Severe Wheeler gets caught in the post?" He got caught in the post against Trevor Keels
multiple times.
It was easy bucket. Just an easy bucket, man.
They had that sequence in the middle of the second half where Trevor came down twice and was a threat and made both baskets. And then he posted up and Theo cut to the basket on a pick and roll and Theo was wide open. And to me, that kind of shows the epitome of what Trevor Keels is about, where he knows where he can get it where he can. But when he gets a double team off of him and he can still find the open player for an open dunk like that, that's dangerous, man. And he was running point at that point. I mean, Roach was running the 2, and you have a guy who's a threat like Keels doing that kind of stuff, man. It gets dangerous going forward.
Yeah. Russ, give us your thoughts, man. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, all they had was Shibwe. That was it. They didn't have anything else. I mean, they had literally nothing else. I mean, they took 16 more shots than us, lost by 8. Should have been more like a dozen. Should have been more. Even Wheeler, who had some nice plays in the first half, as Brian pointed out, lots of turnovers. Definitely was a liability defensively in the second half. I mean, other than a couple of energy guys that they had some stuff, they just didn't have anything. Our size advantage is ridiculous. I mean, and Kentucky's probably one of the bigger, if not the biggest team outside of Gonzaga is going to have some size too. But we're just not going to play many teams with the size that Kentucky had. And we just looked by the eyeball test so much bigger than them, longer than them, more athletic than them from top to bottom. Even Roach, who was having some trouble in the first half, obviously a little bit, getting his legs under him. There aren't that many people who in the ACC who are going to be fast as Severe Wheeler also. Right. Yeah. So I'm not that concerned about that either. As I said in the halftime talk, Zion, I got some crap for saying Oscar's a thick guy. Right. And obviously Mark was struggling with Oscar's thickness. He just was. And even Theo a couple times, had some issues with that. We're not going to see a guy like Oscar Shibwe when he was at West Virginia was the best offensive rebounder in the country. He's clearly still probably the best offensive rebounder in the country. Fair enough. He gets props for that. But we're just not going to face too many matchups like some of the better matchups that Kentucky had. And we still won by 8 in a game where they had 16 more shots than us. Yeah. So I feel really, really good. I mean, Gonzaga is obviously going to be the better team. So that's going to be an interesting matchup. You think Gonzaga? No, I mean better than Kentucky. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Let's make sure that's clear. Make sure
matchup we're going to see. But Kentucky is probably the second best matchup we're going to see all season. and we just beat them fairly easily in the first game of the season. Some cramping in the second half notwithstanding. So I'm ecstatic. I think
I love that Billis was all over. Chet Holmgren did this tonight, but he didn't mention the 5 turnovers. But anyway,
Billis was on something tonight because the amount of time that Jay Billis said, "Oh, Kentucky looks impressive, man. They're in the game. They're really battling here." Bro, Duke was playing terrible. I was not impressed with the way Duke was playing. I was like, we're playing with fire because if Kentucky starts hitting threes, we might be in trouble.
What about when Keels got elbowed, like right in the face by Davion Mintz, and he was like, "It's a block." I'm like,
"Oh my goodness,
how do you block with an elbow in your face?" Like,
he does. To Billis' credit, he just gets mad at any foul call. Like, no matter what the foul call is, it was wrong. Like PTSD, it's wrong.
It must.
Wait,
we could do a full,
PTSD.
Yeah, we could do a full show on breaking down Billis's game commentary every time he does Duke. But I do the one thing I want to comment on. I think is the Theo John and the Jeremy Roach performances tonight. I think Theo, like what we got tonight, is what we should expect throughout the year from a guy like Theo. He went up against Oscar and did what he could in the time that he played. I think you're going to get a guy who's just a bruiser all year long, who can fill in that role, that 4 or that 5 if we need him, and he can play that interchangeably. It'll be interesting to see if there's games where he breaks out a little bit and gets that 10 to 14 points, how much that impacts Duke. But like, I feel like going forward and what we all expected going into the season is Theo is just like that rock. Like, he's not going to make mistakes. He's going to be the guy who you put up against their big man and see what happens. But Mark Williams, I think, will be interesting to follow because obviously the expectations were high this year. Where do we see him performance-wise going forward with these bigger schools? I guess that's another question to throw out there.
I'd say matchup dependent, right? I mean, like against somebody like Baycott, again, like dudes that are a little more like, not ground bound, but like, I hate to keep using the word thicker, but like, dudes that have a sturdy lower half. Like Mark is just a more upper half dude, just a longer dude, right? So like somebody like Baycott, Theo, I expect to see a lot more of him in a matchup like that. The other thing that Mark's got to figure out if he's going to play more is he's definitely hunting the block. He left guys a number of times tonight, because he was hunting the block. And you're just not gonna be able to do that. Whereas Theo, I mean, there was that one play in the first half where Theo jumped verticality, made contact, stopped, interfered with the shot, and then and made the stop, and it kept going. And I tweeted out, I was like, how many times in the last decade have we seen a Duke big man actually jump, maintain verticality, and make the play and then just keep going? That's an old man move. Fundamental strength is just something that we just don't have a lot because normally we've got very young developing bigs. So Theo's going to be huge in that regard. I expect him to play a pretty sizable role going forward, honestly.
One thing I want to go back to, someone said it. I just have a couple things to point out because I think a lot of people, I see the Twitter comments too. Someone said it in the Twitter comments. I want to just find your name real quick. Charlie 606-82997. He had 1 point. We made 1 3 this game.
It was a tough one too.
7%.
We made 1 3 this game. 1 3. And they won by 8. You also have to factor in Duke got out rebounded by 8, gave up how many? I don't know what how many more shots did they? Kentucky have more than us?
Like 16. I think they had
16 more shots.
16 more shots.
16 more shots. We made 1 3. Our star players, our best players on the court tonight left the game for a significant amount of time because of cramping. Mark Williams wasn't that great. I don't think it was that great. Roach, he was okay, had his moments, but I think he could play better. And Duke kind of pretty much easily handled Kentucky. Like with all those factoring in, Duke handled a pretty good team. I thought Kentucky is still a good team. And one more thing I wanted to know, Wendell Moore. Someone said it here. Wendell Moore, man, clap it up, man. I got to give him his flowers. He came on the show, definitely an alum here. He looks different this year. He looks different.
He did. He looked like a leader out there, honestly.
The confidence, man, the confidence he was playing with when he was out there was something we haven't seen before. There wasn't no tentativeness. It was just all attack, attack, attack. And but to Zion, to your point, it's a blessing and a curse that we did all of those things poorly and still won. Like, we have a lot of stuff to work on, but it's also promising. Like, those are stuff we're gonna have to keep an eye on going forward in these smaller games, and then going into the bigger non-conference games. Is like, do these things keep happening? Are we only making a three here and there, a couple threes a game? Is Roach not producing as much as we would hope? Is Mark Williams not making that step that we all expected? Or is this all just a positive sign of, like, we did all of these things bad or poorly, and going forward we can improve upon those because we know guys like Roach and Williams can shoot better and or play better regardless. Yeah. And so we'll see how it pans out. But for now, it's like, man, we did all that stuff so poorly. We got a good team on our hands.
Yeah, I think having this game tape is going to be so beneficial for this team going forward. It's really hard to teach against practice. It's much easier to teach against a game that you played, you played a high value target, as I call them, and you have things to work on, both good and and good things to see and bad things. Like, obviously we didn't rebound well. We gave up 19 second chance points, but we made up for it, some of that in fast break points over Kentucky, which is good. So definitely having this game tape is going to be, with that brain trust in Durham right now and the coaching staff, they have a lot that they're going to be working on. It's good to have this tape.
The one that's surprising to me, because we talked about it in the debate show or the pregame show last week, was how much more length Duke has and the height advantage that we have. The fact that we got out rebounded is a little bit sketchy. Like how, why? So that'll be, like you said, Brian, it's going to be a thing that these coaches are happy they won, but damn well they're like, thank God we got some tape to go back to, because 3 years ago when we won by 34, there wasn't much to go back on.
Yeah,
exactly.
And your shoe was a lot. That's all I can take away from this game. We won so much. Tuck your shirt off, whatever.
Yeah. And that's what something I noted that people are asking in the pregame spaces, like, yo, you want to see a blowout win against Kentucky, or people were saying, I want to see another blowout. I was like, I do not want to see another blowout. I do not want us to peak in November. I want us to win, but I want there to be a lot of stuff for us to work on after the win. And that's exactly what happened tonight. We have so much stuff to work on, whether it's grab and rebound. I think Mark needs to be stronger boxing out and grabbing boards, and obviously the 3-point shooting. But like, they still pulled it out, and I think this team is going to be special. Number one, there's a UK fan watching. Josh, love that. Whatever your name is, don't care. What game y'all watch? Y'all won by 9. Y'all got hella fouls. Ty played like SHIT. Listen, he played like crap because Trevor Keels locked him up, and he's not that guy. Ty Washington was supposedly supposed to be that guy. He was supposed to be your best player. He's not your best player. I think your best player is Severe Wheeler or Kellen Grady or Oscar. You're gonna play off those guys. I think Ty will get better. Obviously,
having seen Ty,
by
about mid-season, we're gonna see him make a huge jump. The kid is really talented.
He'll be fine. It's just that Keels is better today, and is also just a bad matchup for him, because Keels' strength is just something that Ty couldn't handle. I thought that down low, the rebounding notwithstanding, and again, a lot of that is just sort of the Oscar situation. Down low, we played really well still. I mean, like, I don't know what Kentucky shot on the game. It can't have been very good. I mean, like, they 38%. Got a lot of, I mean, so there you go, right? Like, and again, Kentucky probably, in terms of teams that are going to look to, get to the hole, feed the interior, do stuff like that, score on putbacks, score in transition, they're going to look to score a lot of twos and have a high percentage shooting from 2. And like, that's just, they were not able to do that at all today. So I thought the interior defense was really, really great.
I mean, imagine how well we would have shot if we hadn't taken any of those threes. I mean, Duke shot 51%. For the game. I mean, imagine not taking 13 threes. They probably would have shot 70%.
Zion, can you pull up those stats again real quick? I'd be interested.
I will say I am taking back that Ty slander I just had. Get me off the screen. I was joking a little bit. Ty is going to be a good player, but I
Yeah.
have to get I gotta get that off my chest because Jack Pilgrim was talking crazy last episode.
I
But
think the
yeah,
one thing to keep an eye on going forward is the minute distribution. I think we had 7 guys over 20. So we had Theo, and everybody else was. We had 4 guys over 30 minutes, and then we kind of played. We were about 7 to 8 deep tonight. AJ though will get better with his injury coming back and everything. That'll be an interesting thing to follow is when AJ does come back full strength.
One thing I'll say though, AJ looked comfortable on the floor tonight. It wasn't like, especially defensively. In fact, I thought Duke's best offense this game was with AJ at the 4. When Paolo was in the locker room and they put Theo and AJ and they played small ball, that was the best offense they played all night.
So Zion's saying like just take Paulo out of it and put Griffin in, right?
I'm saying bench Paolo, never play him again. Start AJ at the 4, and then, you know, no, but the offense was really clean and open. Looked like a Duke offense when
Paulo was out and Wendell was out. It surprised. Like I was like, man, I mean, if shit hit the fan, pardon my French, like this team actually would suffice for a little bit if we had to.
Yeah.
If injuries happen, like they look good with those 2 out, which were those best 2 players going into that part of the game. So
I was really pleased with AJ when in the Winston-Salem State game. He looked slow. I mean, like just flat out, like he was not full speed. He was not full confidence. And so I did not expect him to play much at all today. I know they like said that he would, but I was kind of skeptical because if you don't look full speed against Winston-Salem State, what are you going to do against Kentucky? But when he did play, he was definitely effective. He slid his feet well. There were a couple of times he wasn't especially disruptive, but he wasn't trying to be. He was just trying to stay in front of guys, and I thought he did a really good job at that. He had a couple of nice cuts in there. Just some good fundamental basketball, the sort of thing you want to see from a guy who's recovering from injury, a guy who's trying to get his feet under him a little bit. So I think that's really promising. I'd love to have him at closer to full strength even more against Gonzaga. I think we definitely can use him in a matchup like that. But yeah, I was impressed we got anything out of him at all today. And the fact that we got good was great.
Hey, I wasn't even mad.
I mean, I wasn't expecting that, honestly, from him.
I wasn't even mad at the step back jumper he took because I've seen him make that shot so much. Like, obviously, high school is not the college level, but like I've seen him make it on the high school level. And if he's taking that shot with confidence, then you got to believe he can make that shot. And I think
that's his move, man. Is that step back to the right?
Exactly.
You've seen that all of his highlight tapes, even regardless if he hits it or not. But that's his move right there. So
the fact that he went to his move shows you how comfortable he is, honestly.
Exactly. Yeah.
It still looked a little hesitant when he did it. There was still like I felt like there was still like that half second of like, am I going there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and again, I expect that he'll shake that off the more minutes he gets. But yeah, I was really impressed with that. I do think that shooting is probably going to be just a bit of an issue going forward. I think it's kind of hard to get away from that. Possibly.
Yeah, I know.
But if Keels is able to penetrate the way that he is. And I'd love to, I mean, this is a broken record every year. I'd love to see more ball movement. I know that's just not really the offense that Duke has run the last several years, right? So I'm not really expecting that to change much. But if we're not a really good shooting team, we're going to have to whip the ball around a little bit more because, if we do ISO penetration, like horn set stuff all day long, then teams will just zone us. I mean, that's just, and Paolo is obviously perfectly designated to break a zone. So, I mean, we've got something for that, but at the same time, we don't want to see teams just sag completely all season long. Yeah. So I'm interested to see whether guys I'd love to see Joey make a couple of shots, just he doesn't need to be anything other than a guy who makes a 3 or 2 per game,
Exactly.
Play 10 minutes, make a 3. That's all we need from him. If AJ could make a 3, if Paolo's 3 goes, I mean, just somebody on Twitter was talking about the things that Jeremy Roach needs to be in order for I don't think Jeremy Roach needs to be anything other than fine, right? He's got to be a fine defender. He's got to be a fine creator for others. He's got to be a fine shooter. Yeah. He doesn't need to be the guy. We put a lot on him last year because we kind of needed a lot last year. And we don't need that as much this year. He just has to be consistently fine across the board. And I think he can get there.
The only problem I had with the offense was that I don't know if it's a problem, but like 50% shooting, 51%, amazing. 7 assists is all we had the whole game. That's
Really?
7
Yeah.
assists. Kentucky had like 15.
It was a lot of ISO ball, just like tons and tons of like give it to Keels, give it to Paolo. There's just not a lot of movement.
I think some of that was how they defended. Honestly, I think they defended us fairly well.
Sure.
Yeah,
They were attempting to disrupt. They were trying to make it an ISO game to some extent, you know, knowing that they've got Oscar down low. And I think they also kind of realized that, like, you know, one-on-one, a lot of those guys like Wheeler and Washington just can't defend some of these guys. So they were definitely looking to, like, you know, poke hands into passing lanes, play a little more pressure, try to make people drive it to the basket. That said, I would just love to see the ball move around a little more.
yeah. I think that
in a game that was great, though, obviously.
That too has to do with, I mean, if we're not, it's hard to get assists when you're not shooting the outside shots. So it's like if your simple passes are entry passes to the post and Paolo's making the ISO move, you're not getting an assist for that. But like, I think, you know, Duke. If a Duke team is better defensively earlier in the season than offensively, that's scary because Coach K is an offensive guru. He's gonna find a way to work with a star player like Paolo and trying to get the team going. I think we have the pieces, but I do want to address some comments on the Twitter sphere. I know Twitter, we can't put your comments on the screen, but a lot of Joey Baker hate here, man.
It's one game, man, and I'm not gonna come out here and completely defend it. And
honestly,
he did pretty well.
Yeah, I don't think he played awful. Now I think about it. He missed a 3, and I think he missed another 3, and he got the rebound and got fouled.
He had that move where he almost got the and one that would have been really nice. I mean, his plus minus was 9. Like when he was on the floor, you know, defensively he was not a liability, which is all we need from him, right? And offensively, he was there. He was waiting. He was ready. He didn't really get a shot off other than the one, but like, who cares? I mean, like, if Joy good shot off, positive plus minus, then that's really good for Duke.
He played Grady well. I mean, and that's what we needed, honestly, at that time. He kept, you know, killing Grady pretty locked down for the time he was in there, and I was happy at that. He doesn't need to do anything else.
I will say he needs to be that guy that kind of gets a lot of, we got to run him off curls and screens because we gotta shoot threes. And if Joey's the guy that he's been, you know, publicized as for a long time, he's got to knock down a couple of threes.
He'll get there.
Yeah,
I mean, but every team is going to defend Duke like Kentucky defended Duke.
100%.
He'll get looks
going to get
sure. Yeah.
Look at Paolo, got a shout out from Miles Bridges. I like it.
Oh, he did?
He said Paolo Banchero got game with 2 fire emojis, and he actually did that off of a tweet that Paolo did on him November 3rd, where he said Miles Bridges so cold. So
okay, hey,
NBA's paying attention.
Hey, I know the NBA pay. I know Julius Randle's courtside. All them Kentucky boys, John Wall were in the building. I hope you like the show. I hope you like the Trevor and Paolo show because there was no Ty Washington show tonight. Let me tell you about that. You know, I'm not going to let that one slide, man. I'm going to watch Ty Washington all year just for Jack Pilgrim, man. I hope it turns out well.
I don't blame it all, man.
Had 25 tonight, by the way.
Even better.
Oh yeah,
Trevor Keels played tie tighter than Emmanuel Quickly's turtleneck.
Looked like he was being choked slowly.
I have to jump here to get it right back to my hotel logistical stuff. But my last thought is just there's a lot of good to take from tonight. But like we said at the beginning, and Brian, you said it, the coaching staff is very happy to have a lot of game film to go off of going forward into Army on Saturday, which it's kind of a cool kind of send off for Coach K for this year. He gets to take on Army at home. We'll get that on Saturday, but it's just good that this isn't a route. This isn't the teams going into the rest of the season. Like, man, we got everything under control. We know what we're doing. They have a lot of stuff where Coach K is like, we're just happy we got to win, but we have a lot of stuff that we can work on. And so from a fan standpoint, it's hoping that we can capitalize on that film, get better where we need to be, because good coaches and good teams are going to see this and try to go after our weaknesses. And so, yeah, I'm just excited to see how the staff turns this around and keep it going, man. This is going to be a fun season.
Yeah,
Army
man.
game's Friday, by the way.
Friday? Sorry, my dates
Oh,
are
it's
wrong.
Friday?
Yeah, it's a 12th. Oh, 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12th is Friday. Yep, sorry.
Man, I don't like Friday.
So Friday,
It's better than
7
Saturday.
o'clock.
Yeah.
And
I
UVA
like
got
it.
beat. Even better.
Oh yeah, man. UVA.
Georgia Tech.
UVA
And
got
Pitt.
beat. Well,
Yeah,
sorry-
we're not,
sorry,
we're not happy
Cable.
about Pitt, man, because that's Cable,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, but they lost their best player. So.
It's looking scary over there for him, but maybe he'll come back and be assistant to John Shire. Probably not though. Let me get to more college before we get out here. I know Ryan got to jump.
I got to bounce, though, real quick. We'll talk to you guys later.
All right, man. I'll see
You're
you,
right.
Gonzaga.
We'll see y'all.
Appreciate you, man. Before we get out here, I'll get to a couple more comments.
I love Ryan's look. He's got the mustache and the flannel. So Minnesota. You love to see it. You love to see it, dude.
Someone said Blake's my guy Bayou Blue Devil Justin. Shout out to you. Blake's needs more minutes. I don't know.
He didn't look scared. He did not play scared.
He'll get more versus Army.
Yeah, he'll get a lot of minutes versus if the game plays out how it should. But yeah, I think I said before the game, I expect Blake to play a maximum 3 minutes. He played 3 minutes tonight.
Did he only play 3?
He only played 3 minutes.
If
but,
the game is tight, K's not subbing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is with these cramps, he may have to sub now. He may have to open up that rotation a bit more. I don't know. You got to open up the rotation a little bit more because these guys. It's one thing to have one guy cramping, 2 guys cramping,
3.
We had 3, and our 3 best players tonight were cramping. We gotta extend the rotation a bit. But I will say, Theo John, I love him, man. I love him.
He's talking to smack too. I love it.
Oh my goodness, the energy. It's just the swagger for Duke is back. Like this is like you're gonna fear playing this team. They're gonna let you know if you're playing trash. They're gonna talk to you about it. Like it's the swagger is back. What is it? Theo John plus 13 tonight. Shout out
Not
to
a
him.
surprise. Not a surprise at all.
Him.
That's gotta be the best on the team, right?
Was he? Let me see. Yeah,
I gotta think that's the best on the team.
He was the best on the team. I think
In plus and minus. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the best on the team.
You love that Roach plus 12.
Oh, Roach was plus 12. That's a surprise for me. That's definitely a surprise. I think Roach got better in the second half. He did.
He got much better. I think people will focus on those couple of drives where he forced the issue and made a couple of ill-advised decisions in there. But again, as somebody said about Keels and about Moore also, I mean, Moore certainly had a few of those as well. Like, you got to let those guys have a little free reign, especially early in the season. You know, they got to figure out what they can do, what they can't do. You can't tell them to not do those things just because it's a relatively close game against a big opponent early on. So I love them just letting Roach go, and we'll see what he's capable of as the season progresses. The 7 rebounds is great. Again, he was working hard.
We need our guards to do that.
Yeah, definitely. Another comment. Well, of course. Yes. We did cover this. Jack Pilgrim last week said Keels didn't impress him and tried to act like a scouting expert. Listen, Jack's a good guy. I think I like his work. I like his guy, what he does over there at Kentucky. But he was wild, and my goodness, that could not have been more cold. Oh yeah, I'm dropping a clip tomorrow. I have to edit it tonight, but yeah, with all those cold takes that they said, I'm dropping it. It's getting posted tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Sponsored by TickPick. Another one says we have to be able to make threes to make a deep run in the tournament. I think so. Do I think we're going to make 1 3 in a game again this season? I don't think so. But we're going to find out if that's a weakness soon. What do y'all think?
I don't think we need to take a lot of threes. We just need to make an okay percentage of them, right? Like even if we're only taking, like we took 13 today, if we're making 5 out of 13, then teams will have to respect the possibility of the shot. I don't think there's any world in which we should be taking 20 to 30 threes a game. There will probably be games where that happens, just knowing Duke and our history. But, if the shots are in the teens, I don't mind that. Like, it just has to be a decent percentage, a respectable percentage. And if it's not, then, it's just, then, yeah, that'll be bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if we're not making threes, what team was 20? Nah, I think 2017, 18 with Bagley, or 18, 19, whatever year that was, Bagley and Carter. We had Grayson and Gary making those threes. So I think we'll need that from at least like Trevor. And
we've had a couple of seasons, and I mean, even Kentucky has had a couple of years where they didn't take a lot of threes, but they made them enough to then make teams think about it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's really all we need. We do not need more than the make them think about it level of threes. That's all that's required.
Yeah.
This Kentucky team is going to hit a lot of threes, man.
Yeah.
I mean, not everyone's going to guard Kellen Grady as well as we did. I mean, he didn't shoot a lot of them, but if he's going to hit a lot of threes.
How many?
That might be the difference with Kentucky going into SEC.
Well, I think they hit like 6.
Somewhere in there. 7. Yeah, 7. Yeah.
And I mean, they hit a good percent, but so many of those were just like butt naked, wide open threes in the first half. And then in the second half, we sagged off Wheeler some. They told whoever was guarding Grady, when it was Moore and when it was other people, dude, it doesn't matter. Let the other people penetrate. We've got big men in there. I know that last year, Wendell, you probably had to close out on the attack on the inside. You do not have to do that this year, dude. Hang out on Grady. Just do your thing. And in the second half, I mean, did he even take a 3 in the second half? I mean, maybe he took 1 or 2, but he didn't make one in the second half. That's for sure.
I don't remember.
I think he did.
Yeah. He might have. Maybe that
he definitely made 3 in the first half, so he did not make a basket in the second half.
Okay, yeah.
Good. Yeah. Even better.
But I think my computer's about to die. Before we wrap up here, someone said we need to make threes. I want to respond to this. We need to make threes under, otherwise we will be a repeat of 18-19. I think the difference between this team and 18-19, obviously we have the presence inside, and that's dominant. I think this team is way better defensively. I think that 18-19 team, we didn't really have our defense down until we kind of started playing zone. We literally, that was our best defense, playing zone at that point. And
that's not this team.
This team is a defensive team, and they will lock some schools up. I thought Kentucky is probably going to be one of the better offenses we probably play this year, but I can't wait for Carolina. I can't wait for Carolina because, this is a different Duke team. I said coming into the season, I think this team has it for once in a while. In a while, they have it, and that's big. So we'll see. What are you going to say, Brian?
Virginia's going to be an interesting game when we play them. I mean, if they're doing that pack line and we have to, execute 3-point shots and get good shots, it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, but also they will give up mid-rangers. And I mean, we've definitely got a couple of guys
that's very true,
are very clearly adept at doing that. And Virginia's offense is going to be appalling this year.
Oh,
it was already appalling.
It wasn't even funny. I was watching some of that game and it was gross.
Yeah.
It was real bad last year. It's going to be real bad this year also. I'm not worried about Virginia, at least in that regard at all. UNC will be interesting, but Dawson Garcia is not a good defender, and he'll draw the Paolo assignment. And so
thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. That's tough.
I think my computer's about to die here, but we definitely appreciate everyone for tuning in today. I think our next show is going to be Gonzaga. Yeah, Gonzaga at the end of the month. We'll do a lot of Twitter spaces and whatnot now and then, but we definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Subscribe. If you're on Twitter, go to YouTube and subscribe. Definitely use, like I said, use that promo code on the bottom. to get discounted Duke tickets. But we appreciate y'all for watching, and woo, 1-0, man. 1-0. We 1-0, man. Let's
Yes,
go,
sir.
Duke.
I'll see y'all in Vegas.